Imagine you are standing on a long road. The road stretches far, far away. In front of you, mountains, deserts, rivers, forests. Behind you, your home, your family, your city. You are a merchant, a trader. You have traveled for months. You are tired, but you keep walking, because at the end of this road, there is something incredible. There is silk, there is gold, there is spice, there is knowledge. This road connected two worlds, the East and the West, China and Rome, Asia and Europe. For more than 1,000 years, people walked this road. They carried goods, they shared ideas, they spread religions, they changed the world. This road had a name, the Silk Road. Today, I will tell you its story, and I will tell you three amazing things. Number one, how a tiny worm changed the history of the world. Number two, how one man walked the Silk Road and wrote a book that Europeans could not believe. Number three, how the Silk Road helped to start the Renaissance, one of the greatest periods in human history. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to Learn English by Stories. I'm so happy you are here. On this channel, we learn English through real stories. Interesting stories. Stories that help you understand the world. Today, our story is about the Silk Road. The Silk Road was not just one road. It was a network, a group of many roads and sea routes that connected the countries of Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. This video is for beginners, A1 and A2 level. I will speak slowly and clearly. I will explain all new and difficult words. At the end of this video, you will know the history of the Silk Road and 12 new English words. Let us start with our first new word. Open book vocabulary box. Trade, noun/verb, to buy and sell things. The activity of buying and selling. Example, countries trade food, clothes, and technology with each other. Trade, to buy and sell things. The Silk Road was a trade route. People traded things on this road. Remember this word. We will use it many times today. Section 3, Act 1, The Secret of Silk. Stopwatch 4 to 11 o'clock target, 7 minutes. Part A, what is silk? Show images of silk fabric. Beautiful, shiny, colorful. Let the viewer feel the luxury. To understand the Silk Road, we must first understand silk. Silk is a fabric, a type of cloth. It is very soft, it is very smooth, it is very beautiful. When you wear silk, it feels light and cool on your skin. And for thousands of years, silk was the most valuable fabric in the world. Kings wore it, queens wore it, rich and powerful people wore it. To own silk was to show that you were important. Open book vocabulary box. Valuable, adjective. Worth a lot of money. Very important and useful. Example, gold and diamonds are very valuable. Part B, China's greatest secret. Dramatic tone. This is the secret of secrets. Where did silk come from? For hundreds of years, nobody outside China knew the answer. The answer is a worm. Chinese people learned how to unravel this thread. They learned how to weave it into beautiful fabric. And they made incredible silk clothes, carpets, and tapestries. Open book vocabulary box. Secret, noun, information that is hidden and not known by other people. Example, the recipe for this food is a family secret. And here's the most important part of this story. The Chinese kept silk a secret. For more than 2,000 years, they did not tell anyone how silk was made. If you told the secret of silk, the punishment was death. The secret of silk was that powerful, because China had something the whole world wanted, and nobody else could make it. Part C, why China needed trade. Show map, China and surrounding regions. But China also needed things from other countries. China needed horses, strong, fast horses for its army. China needed gold and silver. China needed glass, because China could not make glass easily. And so, China started a trade. They would give silk, and in exchange, they would receive horses, gold, and other goods. Open book vocabulary box. Exchange, noun/verb, to give something and receive something else in return. Example, we exchanged gifts at the party. This exchange of goods was the beginning of the Silk Road. It started around 130 BC, more than 2,000 years ago. It began during the time of the Han Dynasty, the Great Chinese Empire. Repeat button. So, the Silk Road started because of a tiny worm and a great secret. But the road itself, how long was it? Where did it go? And who walked it? I will tell you now. Section 4, Act 2, the road itself. Part A, how long was the Silk Road? The Silk Road was not one road. It was many roads. It was a network of paths and routes that covered more than 12,000 kilometers. 12,000 kilometers. That is almost 1/3 of the distance around the entire Earth. The Silk Road started in the city of Chang'an in China. Today we call this city Xi'an. From Chang'an, the road went west. It crossed the Gobi Desert, one of the driest, hottest places on Earth. It crossed the Pamir Mountains, some of the highest mountains in the world. It passed through Central Asia, through countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Afghanistan. It went through Persia, the great empire that is now Iran. It crossed the Middle East, and finally, it arrived at the Mediterranean Sea. From there, goods could travel by ship to Rome, to Greece, to Egypt. Open book vocabulary box. Route, noun, a path or road that you follow to get from one place to another. Example, we took a new route to avoid the traffic. Part B, who walked the Silk Road? Vivid storytelling. Paint a picture of the road. Make the viewer feel they are there. Who used the Silk Road? Many different people. There were merchants, businessmen who bought and sold goods. They walked with camels. Camels are perfect for long desert journeys. They can carry heavy loads. They can walk for days without water. There were soldiers protecting the merchants from thieves and danger. There were monks and priests traveling to spread their religion. There were explorers, curious people who wanted to see the world. There were diplomats, people sent by kings and emperors to make agreements. Open book vocabulary box. Merchant, noun, a person who buys and sells goods to make money. Example, the merchant sold spices and silk at the market. These travelers moved in groups called caravans. A caravan was a large group of people and camels traveling together. It was safer to travel in a large group. There was safety in numbers. Part C, what was traded? List items one by one. Slow and clear. Let the viewer imagine each item. What did people trade on the Silk Road? From China, silk, tea, porcelain, beautiful ceramic dishes and cups, and paper. Yes, paper. China invented paper. Before paper, people wrote on stone or clay or animal skin. From Central Asia, horses, gold, silver, and precious stones, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. From India, spices, pepper, cinnamon, and cardamom. Also cotton fabric and ivory. From Persia and the Middle East, glass, carpets, and beautiful artwork. From Rome and Europe, wine, olive oil, and silver objects. But merchants did not only trade things. They also shared something much more important. They shared ideas. Repeat button. The Silk Road carried silk and gold and spice. But its greatest gift was not any of these things. Its greatest gift was knowledge. And one very famous traveler brought this knowledge back to Europe in a book that changed history. Who was he? I will tell you right now. Section 5, Act 3, Marco Polo and the World Beyond. Part A, a young man from Venice. In the year 1271, a young man left the city of Venice in Italy. His name was Marco Polo. He was 17 years old. Marco Polo was going on a journey. Not a short journey. Not a comfortable journey. A journey that would take 24 years. Let 24 years land. 24 years away from home. Marco Polo would not return to Venice until he was 41 years old. He traveled with his father and his uncle. They followed the Silk Road east, through Persia, through Central Asia, over the mountains, across the deserts, until they arrived at the court of the great Kublai Khan. Open book vocabulary box. Court, noun, the place where a king or emperor lives and works. with all his officials. Example: the ambassador arrived at the king's court with gifts. Part B: Kublai Khan and the wonders of China. Sense of wonder and amazement. Marco Polo is seeing things nobody in Europe has ever seen. Kublai Khan was the ruler of the Mongol Empire, the largest empire in the history of the world. He ruled China, Central Asia, Persia, and much of Russia. Kublai Khan like Marco Polo. Marco Polo was intelligent. He learned languages quickly. The Khan sent him on important missions across China and Asia. And Marco Polo saw things that amazed him. He saw cities with millions of people, when most European cities had only 10,000. He saw paper money. In Europe, people only used coins. He saw coal, black rocks that you burn for heat. Europeans did not know what coal was. He saw huge ships, larger than anything in Europe. He saw incredible palaces with walls of gold and ceilings of silver. Open book vocabulary box. Amazed, adjective. Very surprised and impressed by something wonderful. Example: she was amazed by the beauty of the ancient city. Part C: the book nobody believed. Slightly humorous. Europeans really did not believe him. This is a fun moment. After 24 years, Marco Polo returned to Venice. He was put in prison during a war. And in prison, he told his incredible stories to another prisoner or writer named Rusticolo. Rusticolo wrote everything down. The result was a book called The Travels of Marco Polo. This book described everything Marco Polo had seen: the cities, the palaces, the paper money, the coal, the ships, the people. Europeans read the book, and they did not believe it. They said, "This is impossible. This man is lying. These things cannot exist." They called him Marco Million, Marco Millions, because he always talked about millions of people, millions of riches, millions of wonders. But Marco Polo was not lying. Everything he described was real, and his book planted a seed in the minds of European explorers. It made them think, there's a great and rich world out there. We must find it. This idea would later inspire Christopher Columbus. Columbus took Marco Polo's book with him on his voyage in 1492. He was looking for Asia. Instead, he found the Americas. Repeat button: the Silk Road gave us silk and spice in Marco Polo's book. But there is one more chapter in this story, and it is perhaps the most important, because the Silk Road also carried something invisible, something you cannot see or touch, but something that changed everything. Section 6, Act 4, Ideas, Religion, and the Black Death. Part A, the Silk Road of Ideas. Thoughtful, reflective tone. This is the deeper meaning of the Silk Road. The most important things on the Silk Road were not silk. They were not gold. They were not spice. The most important things on the Silk Road were ideas. Buddhism, one of the world's great religions, traveled the Silk Road from India to China. Today, Buddhism is one of the most important religions in China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. It arrived by the Silk Road. Islam, another great world religion, also spread along the Silk Road. From Arabia, it traveled east to Central Asia, to India, to parts of China. Mathematics, science, astronomy, medicine. These ideas also traveled the Silk Road. Arabic numbers, the numbers we use today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, came from India to the Arab world, and then to Europe along the trade routes. Open book vocabulary box. Spread, verb, to move and reach more people, places, or areas. Example: news spreads quickly on social media. Paper, printing, gunpowder, and the compass. These 4 Chinese inventions all traveled west along the Silk Road. They completely changed European history. Without paper, there are no books. Without printing, ideas cannot be shared quickly. Without the compass, ships cannot navigate the oceans. Without gunpowder, the history of war is completely different. Part B, The dark side, the Black Death. Darker tone. This is a serious moment in the story. Handle it with care and clarity. But the Silk Road did not only carry good things. It also carried something terrible. In the 1340s, a disease appeared in Central Asia. And the disease spread from Central Asia to the Middle East to Europe. Open book vocabulary box. Disease, noun. A serious illness that affects people, animals, or plants. Example. Scientists are working to find a cure for the disease. In Europe, the Black Death killed 1/3 of the population. 1 in every 3 people died. It was one of the greatest disasters in human history. And it traveled the Silk Road. Part C. The fall of the Silk Road. Reflective. The end of an era. After the Black Death, the Silk Road became less important. Trade slowed down. People were afraid to travel. And then, European explorers found sea routes to Asia. Ships could now travel from Europe to India and China by sea. Sea travel was faster, cheaper, and safer than the long overland Silk Road. By the 1500s, the Silk Road was slowly dying. It had connected the world for more than 1,500 years. And now its time was ending. Vocabulary box. Overland, adjective/adverb. Traveling across land, not by sea or air. Example, they took an overland route through the mountains. Section 7, the big lesson. Stopwatch 28:00, 30:30 target, 2.5 minutes. Slow down completely. Quiet, thoughtful music. This is the emotional peak. Let's think about the Silk Road for a moment. It was a road, just a road, or actually many roads. 12,000 kilometers of roads across mountains and deserts and rivers. But on these roads, the world changed. Silk traveled from China to Rome. Spices traveled from India to Europe. Mathematics and science traveled from the Arab world to the West. Buddhism spread from India to China. Marco Polo walked it and wrote a book that inspired Columbus. And Columbus, looking for Asia, found the Americas. Long pause, 3 seconds. All of this because of a road. All of this because people wanted to trade. All of this because human beings are curious. We always want to know what is on the other side of the mountain. We always want to meet the people who live beyond the desert. We always want to share what we have. The Silk Road was not just a trade route. It was a story about human connection. Remember the merchant at the beginning? Spread, to move and reach more people or places. Number 10, disease, a serious illness. Number 11, overland, traveling across land. Number 12, connect, to join 2 things or people together. 12 new words. Excellent work. Thank you so much for watching this video. You just learned the history of the Silk Road in English. That is something to be proud of. Now I have a question for you. Which part of the Silk Road story surprised you the most? Was it the silkworm secret? Was it Marco Polo and the book nobody believed? Or was it the Black Death traveling on the trade routes? Write your answer in the comments below. Write 1 sentence in English, any sentence. Do not worry about mistakes. Just write. I read every comment. And if you love stories like this, stories about history and the world, please subscribe to Learn English by Stories. We make a new video every week. Every video tells a